Well, have you seen this? It's video out of Dallas, Texas, and it's getting a lot of attention online right now, raising eyebrows about the possibility of robot dogs patrolling during World Cup matches. Online claims are saying they'll use facial scanning technology to verify ticket holders. But is it all really true? As it turns out, the video's claims are partially true.
Here's more on this and what's really happening.
Okay, this feels like a Black Mirror episode. Take a look at this video somebody recently posted on TikTok about these robot dogs patrolling in Dallas for the World Cup. Now, the person who posted this video claims that the robot dogs here were doing facial recognition. According to Boston Dynamics, the company behind these dogs, that's not true. But it is true that robot dogs will be helping out with security in New Jersey and in Dallas during the World Cup. And I got into a bit of a rabbit hole reading several articles about these dogs. They have the capability to pick up certain chemicals in the air. They have thermal imaging cameras, and they're going to be doing perimeter checks. The idea is to use these robot dogs during sensitive security incidents where it may not make sense to send a real canine. I also read that similar dogs are being used in Mexico during World Cup matches there too. And while these robot dogs do have some AI capabilities, they are still ultimately controlled by humans. So there's still some sort of electronic leash, if you will. So real canines, you're not out of a job just yet.
The first games of the group stage of the World Cup kick off next Thursday. That's June 11th.
And the World Cup final will be Sunday, July 19th at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey.
As apartments across Atlanta deal with break-ins, some properties are taking this initiative, on four legs. ANF reporter Joshua Skinner is at Columbia Crest Apartments in Southwest Atlanta, who had a string of car break-ins stopped by a team of robots.
Car break-ins in Atlanta are not unusual, but how this one ended at Columbia Crest Apartments is, when thieves went looking for an easy score on Thursday, May 21st. But what they didn't count on was a security guard with four legs.
There's an affordable housing crisis here in Atlanta, and there are a good number of properties that have low occupancy just because they're not safe.
That's the idea behind Undaunted, the robotic security company that has found itself on more than 36 commercial and residential properties in a little more than a year.
There isn't a technology system out there that can do what we did.
What the robots did was notice these thieves breaking into the Columbia Crest parking garage and into cars. One robot followed the fleeing thieves, the other met with police, who arrived in just a couple of minutes after Undaunted alerted them.
We're the mission control from Undaunted.
One thief was caught on the run, the other led by robots to this trash compactor area.
Which is a good place to hide, I guess.
Columbia Crest is an affordable housing community and wants as much security as it can muster.
Are you happy with the robots?
I love it.
Some residents even witnessed last Thursday's arrests.
He got him, made him stand still. I'm like, what the hell is this?
The robot is not a catch-all, but it fills what some properties are finding as a growing need.
They can go behind the bushes and in the areas that generally our monitoring patrols don't go to.
So while watching where you park might still be a thing, it's now becoming more of a thing for those with less than good intentions.
When we do this and we have a moment like this, I blast Ghostbusters and then scream, "Who are you gonna call? Call Undaunted."
In Southwest Atlanta, Joshua Skinner.
Juliet, Wilson County, good morning to you, where we have police taking a big step toward what they hope will be faster emergency response times.
Yeah, they say the new drone as a first responder program will be fully up and running by September. Fox 17 News' Chris Knowles is live this morning to explain to us how this would work.
Good morning, Jennifer Lindsay. I'm sure that you can see this big three that's Right there behind me, this is Fire Station 3 here in Mount Juliet, and this is where this new drone would be housed. And the Mount Juliet Police Department is expecting this to be fully operational 24/7 by September. And they say that this drone is something that they're expected to help increase their response time. And it's designed to, again, get more eyes on emergencies before officers arrive to it. And the chief says that the faster response can help officers gather information quickly, track suspects, and better prepare for what they may find when they get to a scene.
The drone was there within 30 seconds and up in the air and watching the suspect vehicle, watching the suspect walk around the home before officers ever arrived. So it takes our officers' response anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes to respond to a call. The drone is there within 30 seconds.
The department says that the dispatchers are also being trained as FAA certified drone pilots, and Metro Nashville Police Department also launched their drone pilot program last week. I'm Chris Knowles reporting in Mount Juliet, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Wired obtained more than 1,000 pages of internal reports from the DHS, the FBI, and state fusion centers this week. The documents describe new federal surveillance category. It does not appear in any prior public extremism guide, and the name is Anti-Tech Violent Extremism. The category folds a wide range of people under a single domestic terrorism heading. People opposing data centers in their towns, people worried about AI displacing their work, people organizing against concentrated tech CEO power. A New York counterterrorism assessment cited in the reports warns of large-scale protests devolving into, quote, anti-tech violent extremist activity in cities within the next 5 years. The legal scaffolding comes from National Security Presidential Memorandum 7, which was signed last September, and that memo directs the Justice Department to target people holding anti-American, anti-Christian, and anti-capitalism beliefs. The documents that Wired reviewed pulled data center protests, AI displacement organizing, and the Zizian rationalist faction into the same surveillance frame. The intelligence apparatus invents a category when separate fights start reading as a single phenomenon. That is what the Wired documents describe. The federal surveillance posture is being enlarged to receive a movement that has reached coordination scale. There's also another reading underneath the headline. 18 months ago, a council ouster in Festus would not have really rippled to a fusion center desk. And regardless of how legitimate the reasons, it does now. And yet, each successful ballot initiative teaches the next town's residents which tools worked. So what is forming alongside the surveillance enlargement is a civic toolkit for refusing extractive build-outs that did not exist at this time last year. A deeper look at this is in today's edition of the Century Report, and the running record on communities' reactions to the data centers lives on the ARCS tracker on the website. Go check.
coming to y'all with no confessions of shit right now. I'm coming in with something that I think every single individual on here really need to hear. First of all, go look for a movie called 2073. I got a little app on one of my phone. I can watch it. I don't know how anybody else can watch it, but go to YouTube, look for the trailer. Trust and believe me when I tell you, you gotta watch it. If you've been talking about Trump stating he's gonna be the last president, that movie's gonna tell you about that. They talking about the data centers. Everybody on here now talking about, oh, this is why it's there, this is why. Fuck that. 2073 is going to tell you exactly why the fucking data centers is there. Now, you want to know about Palestine? Why it's happening in Palestine? It's all on that movie 2073. When I tell you that this war, all the countries that's supposed to be at odds with one another, go look at the movie 2073. I don't give a fuck who out there say, oh, it's making people scared. I don't give a fuck. Because the way I see it, fuck prepping. Fuck stalking. Because to me, none of that's going to matter any motherfucking way. If y'all don't understand why they still allow social media, social apps, it's because they want us to, how can I say, put ourselves out there. Oh, yeah. In this motherfucking show that I'm watching, listen to me. Every motherfucking person out there that open their mouth on some shit they ain't supposed to, like I'm doing now, I guess, I don't know. Trust and believe me, those data centers keeping up with you, partner. Or, ma'am. Every motherfucking thing you suspected going on, believe it, believe it. But now, for those that keep talking conspiracy theories, man, who gives a fuck about conspiracy? You better start living your life like it ain't no tomorrow. We were talking about history being wiped out of schools or whatnot. Has it ever occurred to you that maybe, just maybe in the future, there will not be a history or a past? And people, how can there not be a past or a history? Well, that's because it can be wiped the fuck away like y'all see it being done every day now. So go watch that movie 2073. On some real shit right now. Fuck all that confession bullshit. This right here really needs every single human being's attention. You gotta watch it. 2073. Go to YouTube, search 2073 and watch the trailer and find out how the fuck you can watch that movie.
What if this science fiction movie is really just showing you the world Palantir is building right now? The new movie 2073 is ostensibly about a near-future dystopian world shaped by authoritarianism, surveillance, and social collapse. But what makes it unsettling is how much of it is built from the present, not the imagination. The film mixes fictional scenes with real footage, making the point that the infrastructure for this kind of future may already exist. And that's where American tech companies come in. The dystopian world 2073 imagines is not built only with soldiers or secret police. It is built with data, algorithms, facial recognition, predictive systems, and surveillance tools that promise efficiency, safety, or convenience while concentrating extraordinary power in the hands of governments and private corporations. Think about companies like Palantir, whose business model is built around gathering, organizing, and analyzing massive amounts of data for governments, law enforcement, immigration enforcement, and military operations. The concern is not that one company alone creates a dystopia. It's that the technical architecture for mass monitoring and behavioral prediction already exists, and much of it has been normalized. The old dystopian fear was the government watching you through a camera. The modern version is more sophisticated. Your location data, your purchases, your social networks, your online behavior, your associations, all can become inputs in systems that make judgments about risk, threat, access, or suspicion. 2073 asks what happens when that technology merges with authoritarian politics, not when democracy is healthy, when it's under strain, when dissent is treated as danger, when surveillance is sold as security, when corporations building these systems face little public scrutiny. That's what makes the film feel less like science fiction and more like a warning about choices being made right now in Silicon Valley, Washington, and boardrooms most people will never see.